Hey, welcome to Real Nerds. My name is Ryan. To my right,
Stuart? Oh, me. Joe. I'm Joe Kempter. Hello.
Joe Kempter. To my left,
Brad.
Hey, and guess what? This is the first of our year-end spectacular. That looked great on the WAV file. But we're not going to do movies right now. This is a bonus one. We are going to be talking about our 5 favorite video games. I don't know if Brad even played 5 video games this year. But
I didn't.
But Brad's along for the ride to hear me and Joe talk about our favorite video games because before we get into it, I actually thought this holiday season was one of the best ever as far as quality of games that came out.
Oh, I agree.
A lot of things caught me by surprise, and Brad can actually chime in on this. One of the biggest surprises for me was the Nintendo 3DS. Because I actually had an old DS, and GameStop offered if you traded in your old DS, you could get a Nintendo DS with Super Mario 3D for $99. And I had an old iPhone that I didn't use, and they took them too, and they gave me $70 for my iPhone, $100 for my DS. I paid $40 for a 3DS and Super Mario Brothers for it. And I'll tell all our listeners out there, it's the first time I've seen something in 3D that has actually enhanced a video of anything. Where there's times when you're flying, I'll even get into it more when I talk about it. I'll talk about it later, but there's, it's just, you have to see it. It's amazing. And
I think I've only ever played the submarine game on there that they had at Best Buy. I mean, like, I've never really experienced it, and I thought that was just kind of lame. So I don't know. I don't know if I've ever experienced what it's even.
Oh, and
really
you know,
like.
The store demo doesn't do it justice either because you have to calibrate the DS when you open it up for the first time, and adjust it to where your viewing setting is the best for you. So when it's like just generically set in the store, you're constantly playing it and stuff is falling out of 3D over and over again. It's really frustrating.
Exactly, and the camera like tells you where to like put it, where you're most comfortable. And it has internet. And you can watch Netflix on it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy.
It plays Netflix better than my phone does.
Yeah, you can, but like on an iPhone, it's always buffering. On the 3DS, streams perfectly. The other night, Laura got mad at me because I was making fun of Glee, and I went and watched Creepshow on my 3DS. It's pretty awesome.
Have you played any of the AR games yet?
Yeah, those are freaking awesome.
They're amazing, aren't they?
It's crazy. Like, it uses the camera, and it's we couldn't figure out the name, and then we thought maybe it means altered reality. So let's say you take a picture of this table, and then it puts things. It's crazy.
You get a pack of cards, and they'll have different like Nintendo themed stuff on them. Like, I've only done one so far, and it's a question block. So it's a card with a question block on it. You set it on a table, and then the 3DS reads it, and then that card just drops through the table, and then stuff just appears out of that hole, and you start playing against it. So initially it's like an archery range, and then once you beat the archery range, a dragon pops out, and you have to in real time like move around the dragon, pointing the 3DS at the table where the card was, and it's like this, and it's using the environment background that you're like seeing in reality. It's
crazy because it also has gyroscope in it, so. Yeah. It's so one of the things where people were talking about is one of the worst launches ever. It is definitely worth the investment to get this system because it is awesome. And we got 4 Swords for free, which we still need to play together. But you can download 4 Swords for free. You can download Pokemon Pokedex for free.
Yeah, 3D Excitebike.
3D Excitebike, and
tons of Game Boy games. The
Game Boy games are like $1.99. So dude, and they have a bunch of. They're going to start releasing Game Boy Advance games you can download on it. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty sweet system.
And the other thing about those cards is you can scan them in and then print them out at a print shop bigger. And then, like, I saw this thing online where they did the floating Mario card. They scanned it in, printed it out on like a big cloth sheet, went to the top of a parking garage, put the sheet on the ground level next to this guy.
Shut up.
Scanned the sheet, and then this giant like Thanksgiving Day parade-sized balloon Mario is floating around this guy.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And then I think you can record the video as it's playing.
And you can record 3D videos and
I want to check it out. That sounds so cool.
When we're done with this, I'll show you it. It's so Real Nerds listeners, go out and buy a 3DS because I'm telling you, it's only $169, which you might think it sounds like a lot, but it's not for what you get.
Well, now I know what actually comes built into the 3DS that they don't highlight in the commercials. It's like it was definitely worth $250.
Yeah. Well, you were even wondering if you were going to open it because you bought it. I don't know. My wish.
Well, just because finances wise.
I just bought a TV, and I said, "Dude, you should open it. It's tons of fun." And then you text me like a couple hours later, said, "Dude, this is radical."
But like, if you had, with Vita coming out, and you have to pick one. Like, you can't afford to get both, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to actually play the Vita to see, but the Vita, I mean, looks amazing too. The difference with the Vita, though, it doesn't come with any physical games, correct? It's all download.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's like a Nook where you have to actually download everything into the system.
I like having physical copies of things.
Me too. I'm always that way. My wife she doesn't care. She'll download anything, but I'm the same way.
Because, what if it gets wiped or glitches or, there's always just, I wish I had that backup,
I agree. So, hey, now that we talked about the 3DS, I'll ask you, Joe, what system you think had a better year this year? Obviously, unfortunately, it can't be the Wii because we only had one amazing game come out. I haven't got yet because I want my wife to get it for me.
So I think that Sony had the big year this year.
I think so too.
I think Uncharted 3 coming out, that was a huge game for them this season.
Amazing.
They've but I mean especially with like Xbox not having any. I mean, Gears of War. I'm not into Gears of War, but
I don't play Xbox anymore. Well, you know my history with it. Yeah, you have to, I think you define yourself now by your exclusives.
Yeah.
And I thought PlayStation had better exclusives this year.
I agree. And if I've got the choice anymore, I find myself buying a game on the PS3. I mean, Arkham City I bought on the PS3, and I could have bought it on.
Yeah.
So there's always those games like that, and I don't think that Xbox had much that I wanted to play, except unless it was like Modern Warfare 3.
Do you think Xbox kind of laid off the exclusives because now they're really focusing on their next gen system?
I don't know. I mean, because they just had a dashboard update, and it seems like they're really focusing still on the Xbox. I mean, I'm sure they're working on something else, but I don't think that they're really too worried about first party exclusives anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk about. I mean, Modern Warfare 3 did $775 million in revenue in one day, by far the biggest media thing ever. I mean, and when you think about it, games now. I mean, to produce, I was reading an interview with a producer, and if you want to compete, you're spending $60 to $80 million on the game. But when you do $775 million in one day, it doesn't really matter.
Is that just like total copies sold, or is that like counting like Elite? Because they had that online service that you could buy too for $60. I don't know, but I mean that's incredible.
That's what I read on. I forget. I think it was Dorkly. I was reading that article about how much money it made on the first day, which is amazing.
I bought it. I mean,
yeah.
I every year I feel stupid too because it's like it always comes out right during the holidays, and that's when everybody's playing it. All my friends and stuff like that are playing it, and I work retail. I can't.
You're screwed.
I don't have time to play it, So then I find like squeezing in games every once in a while, and I never get into it as much as all my friends do, and I wonder if I should buy it every year, but. Then again, it's like it's right there, and I'm like, yeah, I really want it again.
I will say the commercials are really funny with Jonah Hill and Sam Worthington.
That was good. I thought that those were good, and that actually kind of piqued my interest a little bit more too. I was like, that's what I love about it.
Have you seen that commercial, Brad?
I just saw it today, actually.
Yeah,
good times. Did you see the one where they did a second one? I think it's on like Game Trailers or something like that. You could pull it up, but it's the scene where he's actually pulls the rocket launcher out in the room, and he's like, "Did you see that guy's face? No, because it's over there, and it's over there, and it's over there. You're welcome." I thought that was great.
So, Joey, we're both married.
Yeah.
Does your wife give you a hard time about playing games?
No. I mean, sometimes you can tell that she doesn't want me to play.
Yeah, me too. My wife is really cool. She never says anything to me, but you can tell she starts getting antsy when I've been playing them for hours.
My wife's more just like, I guess I'll just read a book now or something like that. I'm like, all right, what do you want to do? Well, let's watch The Daily Show. Okay, well, let's watch The Daily Show then. And then as soon as she falls asleep, though, then it's kind of game on. Unless I fall asleep, which, as you get older, that's happening all the time. Now I'm like, why am I so tired?
I found out though too. I've been going to bed earlier, but I wake up like at 8:30 now, even on days off.
Are you kidding? I'm up at like 6:30 every single day. Like I can't not. I'm
always
always up at
about
6:30.
Sleeping in. I mean, I have to wake up at 6 to get in Boulder by 8. Anyways, I just thought it'd be funny to ask if your wife gives you a hard time about it. Mine doesn't.
No, I think that Kelsey's really cool. She gives me. We've got a give and take that's really good, and we've been doing the same for years.
As long as I cook my wife dinner, she probably doesn't say anything to me.
Keep the house looking nice. Just
Yeah, I mean that's all you got to do. All right, so before we get into the top, we're doing a top 5 games of the year. You wrote down my honorable mentions. I did not because I didn't actually this year I caught up on a lot of games that I've been meaning to play because the Nintendo Wii released a bunch of them for $20, And so I'll talk about those.
Sure.
But the one honorable mention I will say that I didn't put on here is L.A. Noire. That's not in my top 5, but I played it, and it was all right. I'm not a big fan of those open world kind of games. I'm not very good at them, so I have a hard time getting into the games.
And that is actually, I mean, I know we're not getting in the top 5. I would actually say that out of my top 5, that was probably the one that just kind of squeaked in there at the end there.
I hope everybody doesn't have to be in suspense about my number 1 game, but we'll talk about it when it gets there. Anyways, you have honorable mention. Hit me with it.
Well, I mean, I got a couple of them here. I mean, we played some Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I haven't had a chance to. Yeah, that's your game.
It is my game, but it's all right.
And no, I think that was a really good time, especially when we had the get together, and stuff like that. Everybody was jumping in and out of games. That's it. I really had a good time with that.
That's where that game excels as a party game,
totally.
Because if you're good enough in the game to do combos and big hits, it's really fun. But also anybody can pick it up and mash buttons and get somewhat of a success.
I know. It's funny when somebody that never plays video games comes up. I'll pick up those sticks for a minute, and they sit there for 15 minutes because they're just challenging new people, and they're like, "No, I'm just hitting things, man. This is just fun. I'm watching explosions happen." But yeah, I thought that was a really good one. I felt like I waited for that one for a long time.
Oh, dude, when did number 2 come out? 98, 99?
Yeah, something like that. I had that on my Dreamcast. I felt like I waited for that one forever, and to have it come out, and I think that they did a really good job with it. I wish that it was Ultimate.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
I'm still waiting for them to put the Green Goblin in it. I don't know why the Green Goblin has never been in one of those fighting games.
You should write your senator.
I will. I'm going to write someone at Capcom.
President of video games.
And Mega Man wasn't in it. What the fuck? Dear Capcom.
You get sick. Yeah, and Modern Warfare 3 ended up on my my list here.
I can never get into those kind of games. I don't know why. I just it's something I can't get into.
It's only multiplayer for me anymore. I mean, it's a $60 multiplayer game that I end up buying every single year. I didn't play all the way through Black Ops story mode. I only played it for the multiplayer, and I'm doing the same thing with this one. And it's just that thing. I know that all my friends are going to get it every single year. I know that we're going to have fun playing it when we can get online together, and we do. We'll play games for hours, and it's just a good time. But I can't get into anything else on it, So it's as good of a game as it is, and it offers a lot. And I mean, if you really do play through all the different modes and everything like that, you get so much bang for your buck on that game. I mean, really, if you're buying it day of launch, you're getting so much out of the package with it that it really makes it a good buy. But you gotta, I don't know, really want to get into all that. And I feel like I'm paying $60 just to play, like a couple of the new styles of matches. But the new multiplayer matches that they have on there are fun. They've got one where it's like you'll run around with the flag, and as you're holding on to it, your team will get like double the kill points and stuff like that. So it's just different new ways of playing it. They've got kill confirmed, where after you do kill somebody, you have to run up and collect the dog tags to actually confirm it, or somebody from your team can. Another team, or the opposite team, can grab them, and that would deny you the points. Also, those things are really fun. I think that they've upped it, and I think that they did a good job. But
do you get into those games, Brad? Are you a first-person shooter guy?
I like GoldenEye and stuff back in the day, but Halo
did you play
and
the new one?
Gears of War.
Did you play the new one on the Wii?
I did, yeah.
Did you like it?
I did, except I've gotten to the last level where you fight Trevelyan, and the new way they have the level set up is insanely frustrating.
Really?
Yeah, I had to go through so many guys just to figure out what to do. Because he's just running around shooting at you, and there's like 20 other guys shooting at you, and you're chasing around this same pattern over and over again, and you're just like, why is he not collecting damage? I don't know what to do. And the rest of the game prior to that is great.
I remember fighting him in the N64 one and feeling extremely frustrated because all the guys that were around too. Well, it was almost like you had to know exactly where you're hitting these guys and have a pattern down to chase them.
It was one of my favorite multiplayer experiences was the GoldenEye on N64. I'd play it for hours.
Has anyone played the PS3 one?
The new one? No, the Reload?
I heard it's exactly the same. They just made the graphics smoother.
I did this year. I actually had GameFly for a little bit, and that's like how I got to play a GoldenEye. I played that this year because it was one that I wanted to buy, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be any good. as long as I played it with like the classic controller style, it was fine. But anytime I tried to do the move controls and try to like aim for people, I hated the game. I was like, this is just the most frustrating, awful thing ever. And I think that's just kind of what drove it down for me. If I had more time with it, like I was, just one of those things. No, I'm not into it. I'm going to turn it back. I don't know.
I can't remember. I think I actually played it with the classic controller.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think that it was a much better game once it was like that. I don't know.
Yeah, just GoldenEye is one of those things that I think it was the first game with the. No, that was Star Fox. Was a Rumble Pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was one that when you shot and it vibrated, it was cool. And
people rip on the N64, but it initiated a lot of video game stuff we enjoy today, like shock control and.
Remember Perfect Dark, where you actually had to hook the thing into the back of the memory extension in the back of the controller for.
That was into the system itself. It was that red expansion pack into the thing. Yeah.
For like 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was that and Donkey Kong. Yeah. I'll hang on a couple of these other honorable mentions, but I want to say that I just downloaded Choo Choo Rocket onto my phone, and it's exactly like on the Dreamcast, really? And it's amazingly awesome. So that's another honorable mention because that's just a cool and fun game.
Nice. Yeah, Choo Choo Rocket. I haven't played that in years.
Yeah,
for the Dreamcast.
Yeah, and it's exactly the same thing. I mean, it's Sonic Team did it and everything.
What a frantic puzzle game, and
good times.
That'd
good
be
times.
great to have on the 3DS.
Oh yeah, that would be sweet.
It uses the touch thing really well, just because you're just putting the things, like especially in the puzzle ones, you're just like putting them down, then you start it to see where they're going to go. So it works really well on the phone if you're looking for a good download.
I will look for a good download on the phone.
So
cool. You're the guest, so I'll let you choose. Do you want to do your 5 first, or do you want me to do my 5 first?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get in. We just talked about L.A. Noire first.
Okay, cool.
So because like I said, that's probably at the bottom of my. That's number 5 for me. Just cracked in there. I thought that. I thought it was a good game. I thought that it took a different turn than I expected. I mean, I was really hyped up just watching the all the trailers leading up for it, stuff like that. It felt like it was a long time coming. All the famous actors that you could tell right away who they were. I mean, it was just really, really, a cool thing. And it seemed like they captured it, that era really well. I feel like they did a really good job with all that. And for being an open world game, I still felt like it was guiding you by the nose the entire time. Like it just, like unless you wanted to venture off and do something else, like in the middle of a case, I never did that. I never went around. I didn't GTA it at all. I just let it kind of drag me through the story that it wanted to tell, and I thought it was pretty good. Of course, all the games that I've got on my top 5 here, I ended up beating this year, which that's rare. I don't always beat games,
No?
I'm usually too busy, but all these I beat, and that was one that I got just bored with for a little bit. I set it on the shelf and then came back to it, and I got really into it again, and I beat it and was glad I did. It was just kind of a depressing kind of, the whole end of the game was just kind of depressing, and I was like, all right. I liked it. I had a good time, but it was a different experience that I go to for gaming.
What I did like about it did take a lot of different chances and very innovative, and you could tell the guys who worked on it really hard. And I mean, it didn't make my top 5, but it's still I liked the game. I liked it enough where I'd play it again.
So then what was your number 5 then? Let's do
my number 5. You know what? We kind of talked about it, is Super Mario 3D Land, because it is fucking amazing.
I really want to try it. It looks good.
It's again, I was saying earlier that the 3D works so well in it. There's parts where you're Mario and you get this little propeller box on your head, and you jump up in the air and you start floating down, and you're like, whoa, because the depth perception just, it's out of control. And not only that, is you're playing it, and the first 3 worlds I'm just breezing through. I think I had like 28 guys by the time I got to the end of the World 3. But as soon as World 4 started, I started losing guys. And I had to continue in World 5, so that's how hard it started getting. And then in World 6, I started getting so pissed off. And so you can feel the game getting progressively harder. And it returns the airships to Mario games.
Did it feel, because in the pictures you see that it looks like it's 2D a lot of times, and then there's other parts where it's kind of like Mario Galaxy.
See, in a way, it's like Mario Galaxy because the worlds are really kind of contained in a little area, but you can move in and out of the background all the time. And even when you're running in 2D, you can still move up and down in the background. I mean, foreground and background. And when you're fighting Bowser, you have to run to across these really long drawbridges and hit the switch. It's the only way you can do it because Bowser gets a Tanuki suit too, so he'll shoot fire and spin, and when he's spinning, you have to time it right so you run in front of him on the bridge because he's spinning. Because if you don't, he just keeps on jumping in front of you, so you can't get past him. So you have to time his tail spins right, dude. It's amazing.
That sounds great. That sounds like a lot of fun,
dude. It's a fun game, and they took the 3D adventure where I was skeptical about it, and they actually made it really cool.
Now, do you think that it would have been a more successful game, and do you think the 3DS would have been a more successful system had that been around at launch?
Oh yeah, because it's the fastest selling Mario game of all time.
Really?
Sold 500-something thousand copies in 24 hours. And it sold tons of systems.
So they could have had their $270 system selling
if they just would have waited.
And you think that waiting was the game? Because I think that they were trying to push it out there to get that technology out there before like any other
I think so too,
company
but
I don't think it still would have done well at 270 or 50 or whatever.
I mean, it makes it easier to swallow when you're paying $200 and you get the system and the game.
Yeah.
Or was it $179? I don't remember the price point.
For this holiday?
Yeah.
The original one, I think it was $250.
$250.
Yeah, the $250. But how much is it with the game? The Zelda and Mario? I don't remember.
It was $170.
So $170, and you're getting, a high quality game
and a $40 game.
Yeah,
because 3DS games are $40.
Yeah, and I mean, if games like that, it's okay because it makes sense because it's amazing. And there's times when you'll get to the end of the world and you missed 2 star coins, and you didn't even realize you missed them. So there's a huge replay value there. And when you beat it, there's a harder version of the game, like original Mario Brothers, that you can play.
That's cool, man. That sounds really cool. That sounds a lot more fun than LA Noire. So that was a good number 5, man.
And Brad doesn't really have top 5, but you got Zelda for your 3DS, and how would you rate that?
Well, it's that's the
Ocarina of
game.
Time, right?
Yeah, Ocarina of Time. It's the same game with better graphics, slightly better, I guess.
Is it a better experience in 3D? Or do you play it in 2D?
I play in 3D. I feel like when I played it in 2D on the N64, like I had the same experience. Like even in 2D, it felt like I was involved in that game, like physically in that world. The 3D, it's like just an extra layer. Like I think if it was still 2D, I'd still enjoy playing the game. But the 3D depth,
So is the camera goofy in it? Because, the N64 had the camera buttons plus the Z trigger and things like that. Or is it handled pretty well? Is it with a touchscreen on the bottom?
The touchscreen is more for like items and save.
That seems cool.
Yeah.
That seems really
maps
handy.
And things. Like you can use the buttons to, what is it called? What's the term? Like just adding items to like the Y, X, B, and A. But then you've got like Roman numeral 1 and 2 for like masks and jars and stuff, or stuff you need to bring to people to complete side quests and stuff. But that's all that's for. The rest of I think it's just intuitive, so I can't really explain it very well.
Sure.
As far as the camera and like Navi.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Like the L trigger connecting to stuff in the area. I don't know how someone who's never played it before
So when you play that game, whenever I always like the red tunic, I'd always leave it on, and even like when I was leaving the Gorons and stuff.
I think it's some places where you have to switch out.
Well, yeah,
when you go to
when you go to the Zoras, you have to wear the blue one. But I always like the red one. I always kept them in red. I don't know why.
Yeah. The first time I played on the N64, I kind of went through with just the quest, and since I'm going back again through it, I'm kind of trying to accomplish side quests as I go. So I played it a bunch, but I'm still in Kakariko Village, and I just gave the guy the mask, and I threw all the chickens in the pen, so I get some extra rupees.
I remember playing that one on the N64. My friend Nick gave me his N64 when he went off to the Army, and that was the only game that he had for it. So I played that game over and over and over. And then it was funny because when he was in the Army, he'd buy games for his N64 and ship them to me. So like he'd have a game collection, but like of course I'd open them up and play those games. So I was like, yeah, I ended up getting Star Fox and Mario and all those other great fun games, but he bought it with Zelda and gave that to me. And then when he came back, he had a new N64 and was like, yeah, you can have that one, dude, but just give me my games back. You know?
By the way, they're awesome. I played them all.
Oh yeah, here you go, man. I tore up the boxes. But there you go. There's some cartridges.
So yeah, and then I also got Skyward Sword, but I haven't played that a whole lot yet. So
I was gonna check that out in Target the other day, but it was a little bit packed. But I haven't even tried Wii Motion Plus yet.
Oh
no, you haven't? It's good. No. It's big difference.
I wish I had the controllers that have it built in because I hate doing the.
Yeah, luckily my wife got me the Mario one from last year, so it's built in and it makes a big difference.
I'm gonna have to get a new Wii because Netflix and Skyward Sword keep glitching online. So
really, on a Nintendo system, you hardly ever hear that happen.
I know. I'm a little disappointed, but I love Nintendo, so I'm one time in 20 years this happened. I think I'll let it slide.
I know that you could buy. You could buy a copy of Zelda that had it with a gold controller that had the Wii Motion Plus in it.
Yeah.
That's only like $10 more. I think it was only $59 with the soundtrack CD as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I put that on my wish list. So
me too.
Hey Kelsey, if you're listening,
I asked for that too. I asked for Skyward Sword. So I'm sure my wife will get it. She got me Epic Mickey last year and a Wii when I asked for it. So hopefully she'll get me Skyward Sword.
Well, that and Skyrim are my only two want to play games. I want to play Skyrim.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good way to lose the day.
I feel like I could get lost in that. You know, I hear people talking about how in that game you remember the adventure that you're going on and stuff like that. Like there's parts of the day that you spend and you'll remember those. Where in Uncharted or Batman, it's those key moments. You remember those really big key moments, and it's those set pieces that really involve you. And those are the things that a month later you'll remember. You'll remember this entire journey through Skyrim. And I'm like, that sounds cool. I want to experience that. I played Fallout New Vegas, which I guess that's Bethesda too.
Yeah.
But I mean, not on the same kind of level, I guess, because I mean that was a really glitchy game, and it was good. But open world, and I really did find myself getting really involved in that, just the exploration and all that stuff. But I think it's time for Skyrim. I think I need something like that to just soak up hours until Mass Effect come out, or BioShock or something like that.
Hell yeah. Joey, number 4.
I guess I would have to say Deus Ex. We talked about that on the podcast a couple times, but really just a killer game, man.
I haven't played it. Something I probably should play.
Is that a PS2 game?
I got it on the PS3. It just came out this year. Human Revolution. That they did. It's I guess the third Deus Ex. Yeah, it's a brand new one. Really, I mean, it's stealth, action, espionage, and just when I thought the game was over, it still just kept going on, which I was like, oh, that's a cool. I love when it feels like it's about to end, and then it just keeps on going, and it builds to a bigger climax. It was a just fun game all the way through. A lot of really cool ways to play the game, and I think I said this on an earlier one, but it's like playing Metal Gear Solid that first time.
Huh.
That feeling that you get, especially going through that first level of Metal Gear when you're figuring out how they can or cannot see you around corners and stuff. And this game plays so much to that, and the augmentations that you can get to completely cloak yourself, or it's really just a good game. I think that the only thing that threw it off was some of the animations were a little bit robotic, but I guess that's to be expected in a game where you've got robotic augmentations, maybe. But and then the boss battles brought it down just a little bit for me, because I felt like I was paying so much attention in upgrading my character to be stealthy, and not be detected, because you get it's just a more interesting game, I guess, that way.
Huh.
And then when you get into these boss battles where it's all gunfight, and it's all you have to and I found myself a little bit less equipped for those battles because I'd I mean, so
too much time on the stealth part.
On the stealth part, exactly, yeah.
I always balance my upgrades. I don't play role-playing games too much, but I play the Mario and Luigi ones like crazy, and I always balance their upgrades so they're all balanced all across. But sometimes it hurts you in the last battles too when you don't make them strong enough, so it takes you a lot longer to beat them.
Mm-hmm. But I think that the majority of the game. I mean, there's not very many boss battles in here, so the majority of the game is spent, lurking around and trying to avoid detection. Taking down enemies silently or something like that. And you've got the option to kill them or knock them out every time. Like, just really really cool game. And at the end, I mean, you're left with like 4 different ways that you can choose to end it. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, nice.
I had a really good time with that game, and it's one that I'll play again. I thought I was gonna trade it in, but I find myself wanting to go revisit that again. Game. Yeah, especially after the end. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I will hang on to this one, but because I'll try it again for sure. It was a good game this year.
Nice. My number 4 is probably a lot higher on a lot of people's list. But I had so many games I really loved come out almost kind of at once, and mine's Batman: Arkham City.
Loved Batman.
And again, the first Arkham Asylum, when we did our top 10 of all time, Arkham Asylum is my top 10 game of all time. And Arkham City basically takes the same premise and just makes it way bigger. And again, it's the atmosphere that they create with Batman and the villains, and it's an amazing game. I loved fighting Mr. Freeze, where you had to beat him a different way every time because he's so smart that the first time I figured that I could sneak up behind him and then knock him out and then keep on beating him up, and then I tried to do it again and he's like, no, I'm too smart for you, Batman. And then so you had to figure out another way.
He learned hiding underneath
the floor, and I loved those little moments in that game. And again, it harkens back to the first one where it's not clear cut on how to beat these bosses, and they do a great job of making each villain from Batman feel different and how they should be. And again, it was an amazing game.
Like Solomon Grundy down there too. Like every boss, every time you get to,
I was shocked that he was in the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I couldn't believe they had Solomon Grundy in the game.
There was a lot of villains in there. I was like, wow, this is cool. And then Batman punched a shark in there.
Yeah, he did.
He punched a shark in the game. So I think that might move into your top 10 of all time games, man. I'm sorry, Batman: Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I mean, there's not much else you can say about it. I mean, the graphics are stunning. And then you have the voice work. I mean, you still have Kevin Conroy as Batman. You have Mark Hamill as the Joker. Everybody from the animated series is... I want to say that Mr. Freeze was the same guy from the animated series.
I think it sounded like
I know the Harley Quinn is. So they have this really cool continuity, but they're a lot darker than they ever were on that show because... Yeah, I mean, I think Harley Quinn at one point calls Batman a bitch.
Gosh, all the bitches that they throw at Catwoman through the entire... Did you have the Catwoman expansion?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
I downloaded that as soon as I got the game because I was told you should because it weaves into the story of Batman. And it does.
Yeah, I was told to do it right away. It was good. I really, really enjoyed that game. I thought that, especially since I did download Catwoman first, having that first mission... like with Two-Face and all that. I thought that was really,
that was
really
cool. Because it opened with her.
Yeah.
It usually opens with Batman, but you open with playing as Catwoman. And you get captured by Two-Face. And Batman actually, Bruce Wayne gets captured, and he's put in Arkham City. And then he's able to escape the bad guys and Penguin. And get
that was pretty cool, too, like kicking ass as Bruce Wayne for a little bit there. And I thought that was a really,
and the
really
Ra's al Ghul freaking fight was cool, and...
Talia Ghul?
Yeah. I always thought it was Ra's al Ghul, but in the game they call him Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, in the anime series is Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe there's different ways people say it. Because when I heard it, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I guess that's how you say it. I don't know.
Did you read any of... I heard that they did like a comic series from Asylum to City.
I did not read it, but it's written by Paul Dini, so I heard it's really good.
I'd be interested in that because I mean it felt like you were missing just a small element right at the beginning of it. I mean never enough to where it like hindered the game in any way, but it felt like there was a small piece of the puzzle that I was missing there. I thought it was a great game. I think it was definitely, I think that was like my number 2 game this year. I really loved that, and as a matter of fact, after I beat everything else, I threw that one back in, and I'm still going through the city and collecting Riddler trophies and stuff.
That's what James said when he played it. You go through and you play the story straight, but then you want to go back and actually be Batman. You can... the one side quest I did straight through was... I can't remember his name right now. Victor the killing guy who kills everybody, the serial killer.
Zaz?
Oh yeah,
Zaz.
Zaz. All the ringing telephones.
Yeah, he calls you on a phone and says, "You better find me because I'm going to kill these people." And you have to go through the city using sonar to find these phones that are ringing. And every time you pick it up, you use a tracking device to find out where he's at.
Because he's dropping these signals across different parts, different payphones across Gotham, and he's telling you these stories, these disturbing, like bloody stories and stuff like that. And you got to track him for a while too. I felt like I would like track him for a couple times, and then it would stop, and then like I'd play a mission, and then like there'd be like I'd have to go find
something
and you have
else. A limited amount of time to find these payphones too.
So if you don't have that grapple extension where it can fling you off buildings, I mean, it's tough to find these phones because they're on the other side of the city.
How I did it is I would use the grapple, and then I'd release through it, and then I just glide for a really long time.
Yeah, but did you ever do the one where it will shoot you? Did you get the upgrade to where it will shoot you? I think you have to do like a couple of those advanced AR trainings or something like that.
Yeah.
You do so many of those, and then you'll upgrade it. I thought, as soon as I had that, the whole scouring that city was just so much more fun.
Yeah.
I loved that game.
Yeah, it was a great game.
So you know what my number 2 is now.
Yeah.
So obviously I loved that.
I'll probably steal your thunder one more time today, just so you know.
That's fine. That's fine. No, that's all right. That's fun. Then I'm going to talk about Portal 2 real quick.
Portal 2. I have not played Portal 2 or Portal 1, and I heard they're amazing games.
Oh my gosh!
I laughed at the joke in The Walking Dead when Glenn said this is like a Portal 2 something. Forget because they loaded him in a well.
I haven't seen any of The Walking Dead this
season.
You haven't? I got rid of cable, man. I'm behind.
Bummer.
Yeah. Portal 2, I think, I thought it was... Portal 1 was a whole lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of just like those tests and stuff like that at the end. It started to pick up as far as like a little bit more of an action game. The boss battle at the end of the first one was just a whole lot of fun. And this one, just from the moment that you start it, it's hilarious. I mean, just...
Really?
Funny writing, and that's so hard to do in a game.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got this, right away you meet this character called Wheatley, and he's just this little ball that's on a track, and he's trying to guide you to escaping this place.
What do you do in the game? I had never understood exactly what you do in it. You use a gun to... It's like a puzzle game, first-person puzzle game.
Basically, yeah. You're a test subject in Aperture Labs, and you like in the first one you wake up in a test chamber and you go through a couple of these tests, learning the physics of the game before they even give you like a portal gun, where now you can shoot a blue portal over here, shoot an orange one over here, and walking through that wall will. And this looks great on radio too. I mean, pointing at different walls and stuff like that is awesome.
Say on radio.
But I mean, it's learning these different physics and how they can help, and then and that's basically what you do through all of Portal 1. It's using those two different portals to manipulate physics and launch yourself in different ways. Say you're falling from a really high drop. If you shoot that portal gun through the ground, wherever that other one is at, say it's in the wall behind where you just fell from, it will shoot you at that speed vertically across the room. So, I mean, yeah, learning all that, it was a whole lot of fun. And it was the only first-person game that I could ever get Kelsey to actually sit down and learn, what the sticks do and how to do it. She just had a blast with it. So when Portal 2 came out, it was a no-brainer because we could actually play two-player games as co-op.
Oh, nice.
And it's neat because you can do your portals on one side and you can see your partner on the other side, and you've got to work cooperatively to get around these traps and puzzles to get to the end. And that alone was enough for Kelsey to buy, but the game, the first player game, they've extended it way past what the first one was. I mean, the first one you could beat in a good afternoon. This one they extended it way past that. You learn a little bit more about what Aperture is, where they started from, but really funny, just funny the entire way through. And the Wheatley character, like I was saying, he's kind of got like this Ricky Gervais kind of accent, and with the way he talks to you and stuff like that, and it's just everything is so freaking funny.
See, I can't play games with my wife because she's terrible. She didn't know she had to jump over a Goomba. I mean, to me, right away, I couldn't.
Was he wearing a silly hat?
Well, it doesn't matter. We were playing New Super Mario Brothers. I run and I jump, and she just runs right into it, just walking. And she said, "Well, I never played video games." I said, "Yeah, but don't you see the menacing mushroom-looking guy? You don't just walk into him."
Look at him. He's got pointy teeth. Stay away from that.
Well, I remember there was the first time that I got Kelsey to play a first-person game was we played Halo with Zebrahead when they were on tour. They had a little like case that they brought with them, and they had their first generation Xbox and a TV, and we all played 4-player Halo with them, and they needed a fourth, so Kelsey jumped on, and she just kind of like ran into a wall. It was great, but it's fun.
Nice.
So go ahead, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Real quick
Go
though.
ahead.
The end of Portal 2. I mean, I'm not going to give anything away because I don't know if you guys are going to play it, but I feel like I've tried beating this boss over and over and over, and toxic gas kills me. You know, like as soon as I would figure out what I need to do, like there would be another step that I felt like I was missing, and it wasn't ending. And when you realize what you need to do there, it feels so rewarding, and you feel that way throughout the game. You're like, this game makes me feel smart. And, you know, once you finally figure it out, and especially at the end, when you finally figure out how the game ends, and watch it all play out, it's hilarious.
Nice.
Just so well done. And I mean, you're a funny guy, man. You really should just check this out
because it's PS3.
I do have it on the
Let me
PS3,
borrow it.
and you should borrow it.
I will borrow
Because
it.
I've got it on Steam too, so I can even be playing it on my computer too.
Nice.
So it's fine.
Nice.
It's great. Play that game.
will.
I'll definitely let you
I
borrow
will.
it.
Now it's in your list. I will. My number 3 is Rayman Origins.
Cool.
I am a huge Rayman fan. I have always been a big Rayman fan. It started with the first one that was on PlayStation 1, and that one was a really challenging platformer game. Rayman 2 is actually maybe my most favorite Dreamcast game.
That's the only one that I think I played.
And it was a 3D game because, you know, around that time they were really popular with Mario 64 and things like that. So they just did a really good job of. And I mean, the story's goofy. It's just these. They're trying to protect their like glade that they live in, and it's just a limbless hero. And then Rayman 3 was okay.
And Heartless, I hear. What a jerk.
Totally. it was all right. And then for some reason, I never even caught wind of Rayman Origins coming out until a couple months ago. And when it came on my Game Informer on the cover, and I was blown away.
The art style looked really, really cool.
And when you read about it, what they did is, I'm guessing, I was reading, I guess every artist would kind of come up with an idea for the world. And they would hand draw it, watercolors, and it is the most beautiful game I've ever seen.
Wow.
As far as animation wise.
Did you get it on the PS3?
Yeah.
Let me borrow it.
And it's just the levels are. It's so hard to describe, but the first world is like a normal level place, but you're like in a swamp. But then you go to the second one, and it's this music world. And when you jump on these drums on there, they go with the beat of the music.
Like it alters the music.
It alters
to work
the music,
with it.
and then when you're on the wires, it's guitars. And
Love that.
Then the third world is this ice world, but it's all with these like food, like with watermelon slices and lemons and limes, and the music is amazing and the art style is fantastic.
$60 worth $60.
Oh, dude, I'm a big fan. So
and I mean because I feel like there's a lot of really great games out there, especially for arcade download and stuff like that. That I when I look at that compared to some of these other games, I'm wondering what is pulling that for $60 tag to where I can buy another great platformer for $15 or something like that.
It's hard for me to describe, but I can tell you that the art style, the music, the overall polish of the game is way better than anything you could download. And the amount of detail in the worlds, the music, it's a fantastic game.
How long did it take you to beat it?
30 hours?
Oh, that's worth $60 to me. Then I think if you can get that much gameplay out of it, that's worth $60 to me.
About 8 worlds, and there's 10 worlds in each one, and it has replay value. I mean, it has multiplayer too, where you can sit.
Is that like
New Super Mario Brothers, basically? Of course, I wouldn't let Meh play it with me, but that's my wife, because it's hard. There's really the first 2 levels are easy, but it gets really hard. I mean, to save all the little, they call them looms, or the little people in them, to find all the places they're hidden and stuff like that. It's challenging, and it garners playthroughs because sometimes you get abilities as you go through that you weren't able to use before, and you have to go back in the levels to collect all the little things.
That's cool.
So it's and being a Rayman fan is cool. Seeing it go back to the PlayStation 1 kind of roots of a 2D scroller.
You've always liked the platforming
Yeah.
gameplay, so that's cool. I mean, I'm glad that that's got a market still. You know,
Yeah.
like that they're aiming for good games like that. That's great.
Yeah. So go ahead, number 2, Joey.
Well, Batman was my number 2.
Oh, yeah,
so,
that's right. Number 2 is Batman.
so I'm down to my number 1. So what?
So I'm guessing your number 1's my number 2.
Okay.
So I'll let you do your number 1.
All right. So my number 1 is Uncharted 3.
Is exactly my number 2.
I love Uncharted 3, and I haven't even got a chance to play co-op yet. I only played the multiplayer beta, so I haven't even scratched that. But the game, the only other game that actually made me tear up and swell up was Final Fantasy VII when Aeris died.
Spoilers.
And, yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry if you haven't played that game. That came out in '97 or something like that.
You traded in 7.
But there's a part in this game, and I'm not going to spoil or anything like that. But
we spoil everything. You can spoil it. It's all right. Brad will never play it. He'll never get a PlayStation 3 because he's not cool.
No,
I'll get a PlayStation 3 when PlayStation 4 comes out.
All right, spoiler alert. Shut up if you don't want to know what happens. But when they shot Sully in there,
oh yeah,
I seriously just like swelled up, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I sat the game down. I was like, "Kels, let's get out of here. I gotta walk away right now." I'm like, and I'm bitching all day long. I'm like, "How are they gonna continue this thing?" I'm like, "Why would I pick up a Vita? Sully's not gonna be in the game with them. That's stupid. Why would you go? He's got to come back. There's always something supernatural happening in these games at the end, right? What's happening?"
Man.
And I mean, of course it was a hallucination, you know, Drake the water, and I didn't put that together at the time. But I mean, it's because it's so well written, and the way that they visually played with you the entire time was so good.
Well, yeah, because right after they shoot him, and you know, I love doing headshots, so I always aim for. I'll let them run towards me so I can line up a headshot so I can get rid of them in one shot. But when I did the headshot and his head went away and it turned into like Ghost Rider,
I'm
like, oh fuck! And then he started running at me and punching me.
And it was at that point I'm like, something, you know, like there's something that's going on, you know, like that, like with the water that's affecting these guys. I had no idea that it was Drake that was having the hallucinations. Because if you played any of the other games, there is that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it goes to that Indiana Jones Crystal Skull kind of room, you know, where it's like, oh crap, you know, stuff just got crazy.
Well, I mean, in the first one, it's you're in that temple and you climb up and all those like zombie guys come at you. And
then there's those creatures in the second one.
The Yetis in the
second
one.
Yetis, that's the one. Yeah. So I thought that's the road that we were going down in this.
Yeah, I'll tell you my favorite part in that whole game is when you get to the ship graveyard, and it's stunning. I mean, you wouldn't think of like busted, rusted ships look cool, but the game's cool. And then when you get on the cruise ship, oh my gosh, dude! When the room like changes perspective and that chandelier comes down and Drake's running and falls and it just happens to fall around him, and I'm like, how do these game designers rotate the rooms and put all this out there? Where does your head have to go to figure this out, and how cool to make it? I did read something interesting that the programmers, the ocean is programmed randomly. So when he's walking on the ship and and he's swaying and stuff, it's all programmed as it goes. So it's never alike every time you play it, which is crazy.
I mean, that was one of those parts where I felt like I need to get off this thing, you know, because water's flooding in. But I was trying to still take it in as water's rising, and you see like lights starting to go out and pop and stuff like that as they're starting to go underwater, and and I'm thinking, how the hell do you get out of this? I'm like, I'm going to the top, you know, to where there's air, not underwater, but where do I go once I reach the top, you know?
I always want to get all the treasures, so while I'm running through this thing, I'm like still moving the camera. Is there a gleaming light around here?
And they actually made them look like the treasures that you were picking up in this game too, instead of just a gleaming light.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was really cool. I think that there was another part real quick that got to me was I love Elena.
Oh yeah,
I love that whole character dynamic. The sweet thing in the second one, you know, I thought that Chloe was a cool, you know, counterpart to Elena. But Elena and Drake's relationship, I absolutely love it. I think it's so well done. And in this one, when he tells her, you know, like, you're too important, I can't take you on this plane with me.
Yep.
That part right there, I was like, this is just amazing writing.
I wrote a blog about casting the Uncharted movie. And I actually thought the movie would be a cool opening when you're young Drake, at the museum and you meet Sully for the first time.
Yeah,
I thought that'd be a good opening for the movie, and then go into Uncharted, the first story. Yeah, it's dude, those games.
But I mean, but again, Sully is like, he's so cool to me. I love Sully's character, and the relationship that they unraveled in this one was really cool with it, and I'm glad that he's okay.
Yeah,
that's just
I agree. But yeah, that game's amazing, and even when you're running and chasing that dude, and the sand is falling over, and dude, it's stunning.
And if you don't have a PS3, go get one and play that game, because it is fantastic.
You can buy a PlayStation 3 with Uncharted for like $2.99. That's like a steal.
That's a great idea. Do
it's
that.
A steal.
Go do that.
And no surprise, my number one game of this year is Mortal Kombat.
I threw that in an honorable mention, but I didn't want to say it earlier because I knew it was going to be your number one game. Tell me, Ryan, why do you like Mortal Kombat 3 so much?
Not that it's that shocking if people know me that it's my favorite game, but I'm actually shocked on how good the game is.
Nah, too right. It was a good game.
Because, I mean, MK versus DC Universe was all right. I mean, it was a fun distraction, but it was tame. But this game, they upped the violence, they upped the fatalities, they made the gameplay way better.
I think that it went back to like something that it used to be.
I agree.
Like it went back to its
me, it felt like
roots.
MK2 with way better graphics, and it was just a game.
MK2 in this decade, you know, like in this generation. Here's your MK2.
To me, it was. I mean, it's amazing, and the damage these characters get, the mechanics were so tight. The story mode was fun. It had so much you can do in it, and that's one of the trademarks of these new Mortal Kombat games. They always give you little extras, and they did it again, and the game was just lots of fun. And being a long-time Mortal Kombat fan, to see them put together a game that was that amazing is really rewarding as a fan, because they were going through a little flux there because Midway went bankrupt, and they were purchased by Warner Brothers Interactive, which I think actually that's why them doing DC Universe actually helped them, because then Warner Brothers saw them as a valuable commodity, and that the game sold something like 5 million copies. That just means that they're going to make another one.
Where's my Jason Voorhees?
Oh yeah, there should be. But did you know what their new game they just released? The guys who make Mortal Kombat.
Mm-mm.
You can download it on your iPhone. It's Batman: Arkham City Lockdown.
Oh yeah, I heard that is actually not a bad little game. No. I heard it's short, but not a bad little game.
It's like a fighting game with Batman. But they're also working on some other game before they make another Mortal Kombat. So good for them.
Yeah, they don't have it on the Android market, so I'll have to wait. No, but Kelsey just got an iPad, so I'll probably download it on that.
But yeah, no. So it's cool. I was really pleased, and So what you should take from this is, and if you haven't played Mortal Kombat, you should play it because the violence is awesome. They have fatalities in it that are really funny.
You brought that over to that party too. We had a great time with that one as well. Yeah.
That was just that was a fun party. It's always fun busting out those fighting games and getting people playing them. I enjoyed it.
Because it seemed like for a while everything went to like Rock Band games or
exactly.
Guitar Heroes, and
I agree.
Yeah, and that was fun at its time. But I loved going around and playing fighting games. Those.
The one thing cool about fighting games is it's always like King of the Hill. Winner keeps the controller, and it's the next person down the line.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like you can always just swap in and out real quick and do what you got to do. But I think that those are definitely fun games, and I think that Mortal Kombat 3, tons of fun. Yeah. Had a great time with it. I didn't play it as much as you.
Yeah.
So that's
I spent so many. And my PlayStation crapped out, and I had to buy a new one, and I just beat it all again. Much to the chagrin of my wife, I'm sure. She says it's not that bad until you play Shao Kahn, because Shao Kahn is so difficult to beat. You basically have to spam moves against him. So if you're Raiden, you're throwing your lightning bolt, so you hear "Lula! Lula!" like over and over, and when you have to hit Shao Kahn so much that when you hit him, he's like "Ugh, ugh, ugh." And when I play Mortal Kombat, I blast it. So Laura's like, dude, you really have to listen to that like on 95.
We're gonna get you some good gaming headphones.
We probably should. So hey, that's our list. Is there games you're looking forward to next year, Joe?
BioShock 3. BioShock 3 or Infinite. I'm sorry, Infinite.
BioShock Infinite looks amazing.
Yeah, that looks fantastic. Everything that I see, every new commercial or trailer that pops up for it.
Great art style.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, it looks just like so much fun. And they just showed a trailer for the new Naughty Dog game, Last of Us.
Which is amazing that they're working on a game that big while they were working on Uncharted 3, which is a huge game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game looks amazing.
I heard that. I want to go back and check this out, but I heard that in one of the bars in Uncharted 3, there's a Last of Us poster in there,
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I was like, cool. I want to go check it out.
I'll play Uncharted 3 again. It's a great game.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, it's basically Uncharted with zombies. It looks
but it looks like they're really going to go to like a survival horror thing,
Yeah.
to like a real. These look like super fast, like jiggly
28
titty
days,
zombies,
everything,
but that are really going to be coming at you. But she was like picking, through bodies and stuff like that for ammo and whatnot. So I hope that it is one of those where you need to conserve ammo, Resident Evil style, like old school Resident Evil, not just a shoot up zombie game. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, and actually, we were just talking about it. They had a thing about the new South Park game. I think looks really interesting. I'm not a big role playing fan, but when I was reading the game, it's going to be like Paper Mario, where it's kind of an action RPG where it's turn based, but in Mario turn based games, if you hit A again, you get more points. And it's South Park. The guys are writing it, so it's going to be funny. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm hoping for too.
Game Informer, like that actually made me feel good about it, because there hasn't been a South Park game that I've been like, I really want to play a South Park game. I had fun throwing pea snowballs on the N64, but there hasn't been anything else that I've felt like I needed to play South Park wise, and I really love South Park, so that's cool. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of a couple more games. I know there's 2 Resident Evil games I'm definitely going to play. There's Revelations, which is coming out for the 3DS. It looks awesome. It's Jill Valentine on a ship, and it's in 3D, and it's like old school survival horror for them, so that's cool. And there's another one that's coming out on PlayStation 3, which is kind of a squad based one. Where
is that the raccoon, like the
Raccoon Operation Raccoon City, where you take the role of Umbrella?
That sounds neat.
Which is going to be fun.
Can you kill Leon and Claire?
I guess you can. And
shut up! Really?
Yeah, you can go.
Are they going to create like a different universe? Yeah. Like if like that would be pretty neat.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I'm trying to think of I can't think of any other games right now, unfortunately, but there's a few that I'm really looking forward to. Anytime there's a new Resident Evil, I get really excited.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be better than 5. I liked 5, but you're right. I missed the survival horror part of it. Now, 5 reminded me a lot of Gears of War, where you're ducking and you're shooting and you're reloading constantly. 4
it had a grainy look to it, like Gears of War 2. Like they took a page from that. Yeah, I feel that. I didn't like number 5 as much. 4 was fantastic.
Yeah.
The only other game that I know that I want is Mass Effect 3, and they just showed some gameplay of that recently, and I thought that looked spectacular. And they've added multiplayer this year, so or this time around. So I guess that's going to tie directly into the game.
You're not
too.
Going to Connect Star Wars?
No, not going to get.
They keep on pushing that game back because every time I read something about it, they say it seems like you're swinging a lightsaber for special children.
It's out.
Is it out?
It's out.
Oh, I didn't even know it came out. They haven't reviewed it, so it must be great.
Yeah, I think that I'm pretty like about 90% sure it's out. Yeah, I hate my Kinect, so and that's I think that's one of the big things that annoys me about Xbox's new platform, like their new dashboard, is they're really trying to get you to use Kinect with it.
Well, because they sold so many of them, but they haven't released anything that's cool.
I think they sold so many of them because they're packaging them with their Xboxes that they're selling.
I guess the Wii U comes out next year, so hopefully they'll have a Mario game for that.
And the Vita will be out.
The Uncharted game looks sweet.
That is the thing that's making me want that, and that is maybe the reason why I will hold off on 3DS. As much as I love Mario, I think I might hold off until I can play Uncharted on the Vita.
And I'm guessing that there's probably going to be a few more big game announcements because it's still kind of far away, and they kind of wait till a few months later, and they say, "Hey, this is coming out in the holidays."
Yeah. So
we'll see. All in all, I think it's a great year for games.
I think this is one of the best years for games in a long time. I had a great time with them this year. I felt like I was going to have to ration out a little bit. I kept finding ways to sell stuff off to get more games. So, here's
fingers.
Yeah, who needs them? As long as I got thumbs, man.
Yeah.
That's
So guess what? You can like Real Nerds on Facebook, Joe. Did you know that?
I do like Real Nerds on Facebook.
Do you like Real Nerds? Thank you.
I do. I even tweet about Real Nerds, just so you know, at Real Nerds.
Thank you, Joe. You changed your handle on Twitter almost as soon as I started following you.
Yeah, I'm Joey Bag of Donuts.
Yeah.
You can follow me at Joe's Twits, by the way, but I'm Joey Bag of Donuts on there.
Yeah, Joe's Twits is, you can follow Joe there. You can also follow us on Twitter, Real_Nerds. There you'll just find us seeing what movie we're seeing. Brad does a lot of tweets about what he's watching, because Brad goes and sees a lot of those shitty independent movies.
I know that's why I really don't like your tweets, but I'm sure.
You can also read our blogs at realnerds.tumblr.com. Brad, you've never written a blog on our blog page.
I think you guys cover a lot of what needs to be said, so let's leave it up to you.
Oh,
I do so much other things. I edit the
what
show.
What a cop-out.
I post things
What
online.
a limp dick cop-out.
Do so much other work. I'll let you guys.
What did I forget? You can email us at realnerds@gmail.com. You can also go to Denver area-based Ace Hardware and pick up Birdman Barbecue.
Birdman Barbecue.
And our first sponsor paid off. We were delivered Birdman Barbecue sauce today by Joe.
You got a couple spices, a couple originals, and a couple rubs there, guys. So enjoy.
Hell
enjoy.
Yes. So hey, thanks for listening to our Real Gamers edition. Doesn't make any sense, I guess.
Well, thank you, anyways.
Real Gamers
listeners.
edition of Real Nerds.
Yeah, of Real Nerds. The year-end spectacular. Joe, thanks for always doing the video game edition. We look forward to having you again. Anytime you want to do a movie one.
I'll do a movie one sometime with you guys. Maybe when Hit Me comes out or something like that, or Hit Something. What's that?
Hit somebody?
Hit Somebody. That's the one I'm thinking about.
Like in 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
I thought it was coming out this next year, isn't it?
I don't know. Every time I hear Kevin Smith talk about it,
Keeps
it's
on
like
pushing
I'm
it.
working on it.
I guess I
I'm
don't
working
follow
on it.
Kevin Smith enough to know, but I thought it was coming out like this next year, but I don't know.
But yeah, we're going to see... Stay tuned because we're seeing 2 movies this week. We're seeing Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and we're seeing Tintin.
Oh.
Did you not want to see those movies? You were here for the podcast 3 days ago when we said that, right?
No, and on Friday we just said we listed 5 movies and we said, "Oh, we'll figure it out."
Wait.
So, but that's fine.
On Facebook, MC Chris was on there. We were talking about MC Chris earlier, and he said that Tintin reminds him of Rick Astley. And now ever since that, never gonna give you up, I'm never gonna let you down.
Well, Dragon Tattoo comes out like Wednesday, so it's like a
Wednesday.
Tuesday night showing. So, Are we gonna?
I bet you it's gonna be a good movie. I watched the one that was on Netflix, that Swedish one.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good movie, and I hate reading movies.
David Fincher is really good. So yeah. Anyways, we'll hear from us soon about what movies we're going to be watching. We'll tweet it. We'll let Brad tweet that.
Thanks.
Bye.
Game over. Hey, like that. Is that a good goodbye for you?
Yeah. Thank you. Finally, Brad said something.